A lot of teams have standout moments that define their franchise in multiple ways. Today we're going to be looking at the Denver Broncos and check out the best moments from their franchise. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification to get alerts when we upload. Without further ado, let's jump to number 10. Number 10. Tim Tebow. A rejuvenated Tim Tebow connected with Demaryius Thomas on an electrifying 80-yard touchdown pass on the first play of overtime, and the Denver Broncos defeated the stunned Pittsburgh Steelers 29-23 in the AFC wildcard game. The play took 11 seconds and was the quickest ending to an overtime in NFL history. It was also the longest overtime touchdown in playoff history. On the first snap of overtime, Thomas pulled in Tebow's high pass and raced down the Broncos sideline, sending the crowd, including John Elway, the Broncos executive vice president, into a frenzy at Sports Authority Field, which was rocking like the old Mile High Stadium back in the 1990s. Number 9. Peyton Manning. The day the Broncos signed the Sheriff forever changed the NFL. Peyton Manning agreed to a 5-year $96 million contract with the Denver Broncos. The deal included $18 million guaranteed once it is signed and another $40 million guaranteed once he passed a physical in March of 2013. The Broncos were one of 3 finalists for the 4-time NFL MVP, along with the Tennessee Titans and the San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals and Dolphins were also in the hunt and received meetings with Manning, but ultimately did not make the final 3. Number 8. Broncos Patriots. Denver Broncos defeated the New England Patriots 20-18 in the AFC Championship game. In the much hyped 17th matchup between quarterbacks Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, it was the player that most had counted out that shined the brightest. With a tightly contested victory, Manning and the Broncos were headed to the Super Bowl. It started on defense for the Broncos. Denver's interior pass rush dominated New England's offensive line, taking away the chance for Brady to step into his throws. Then, edge rushers DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller generated pressure and kept Brady uncomfortable throughout the game. Denver, which ranked number 1 in the NFL in the regular season with 52 sacks, produced 4 quarterback takedowns on Sunday. More importantly, the Broncos did not need to blitz to get to Tom Brady. Denver routinely dropped 7 in coverage, allowing its secondary to blanket New England's pass catchers. With the Patriots traditionally relying on quick release throws, Denver's coverage got Brady and the Patriots out of rhythm. On offense, Denver opted for a mostly balanced attack with a slight lean towards the passing game. Manning analyzed New England's defense and exploited the matchups he wanted, especially with tight ends Owen Daniels, who hauled in 2 touchdown passes in the first half. In the second half, Denver won by taking the advantage in the battle for field position. Though Denver managed only 3 second half points, the Broncos' defense constantly pinned New England deep in its own territory and did not let the Patriots move the chains. Number 7. Single season touchdown record. Manning's 5,477 yards and 55 touchdowns are 2 that may never be broken, certainly not by a future Broncos quarterback. To fully appreciate what it takes to have that kind of a season, Manning himself, one of the greatest of all time, broke the 4,500 passing yard mark 7 times, but only the 5,000 yard passing barrier once. He also only threw for over 40 touchdowns twice during his long and illustrious career. Number 6. TD2K. In 1998, Terrell Davis broke the 2,000 yard barrier for the Denver Broncos. Davis needed 178 yards in the final game of the season to break the barrier. He averaged 125.5 yards per game, 5.12 per carry, and scored 21 touchdowns en route to his second straight Super Bowl victory. Number 5. Post-draft trade. The Broncos landed Elway in a post-draft trade that would change the franchise forever. Elway, picked number 1 overall by the Colts in the 83 draft, didn't want to play for Baltimore, so Denver sent them guard Chris Hinton, quarterback Mark Herman, and a 1984 first-round pick for John Elway, the uber prospect from Stanford. Denver will never make a better trade. Number 4. John Elway's Super Bowl. Much like Peyton Manning in Super Bowl 50, Elway finished a legendary career with a Super Bowl win. A dominant Super Bowl 33 performance by the Broncos ended with Elway getting Super Bowl MVP. He retired a few months later. You couldn't write a better script. Number 3. Von Miller takes over. The worst of Peyton Manning's 4 Broncos teams was his last one, in 2015. That's the team that won a Super Bowl. Von Miller had perhaps the best day a defensive player has ever had in the Super Bowl to lead the way. The Carolina Panthers trailed by just 6 points with a little more than 4 minutes left when Miller stripped Cam Newton on a sack and Denver recovered. The Broncos scored the game-clinching touchdown after Miller's big play and Super Bowl 50 was theirs. Number 2. The drive. It might seem weird on the surface that a 98-yard drive in an AFC Championship game before the Broncos lost in the Super Bowl would be ahead of the 2 Super Bowl wins. But nothing secured John Elway's legend more than the drive, and no player is more synonymous with the franchise than Elway is with the Broncos. Backed up at their 2-yard line, Elway led a 4th quarter drive to tie the Browns in the AFC title game at the end of the 1986 season. Denver then won in overtime for the Broncos' 2nd Super Bowl berth. Number 1. The helicopter run. You can make a top 5 list from just Super Bowl 32 moments. The upset win over the Green Bay Packers will be impossible for Denver to ever top, But the most undeniable moment from that game, however, is John Elway's helicopter run. On 3rd and 6 at Green Bay's 12-yard line in the third quarter, Elway had to improvise. He took off, dove for the first down, was hit on the side and spun around. And when he landed, he had the first down. If you bring up the Broncos' first Super Bowl win to a Denver fan, this will always be the play they mention first. Let us know in the comments down below which Denver Broncos moment surprised you the most. Make sure you guys leave a like on the video if you guys enjoy. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button for more sports content. As always, we'll see you guys next time.